Okay, it's starting.
Okay. Hello, my name is Curtis Hampton II. First, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. This is the premiere interview of Ham's Corner of America Hour. On my corner is where we bring you the real movers and shakers in our communities. Individuals who are innovative, yet they bring a vast amount of entrepreneurial experience to their chosen field of expertise. Our show's mantra is keeping it real. That is why we focus on those who can enhance our abilities in some form or fashion, but then you are the judge. So without further ado, I will introduce you to Sam Enid. He is the founder and current CEO of BOPSA, which is an acronym for Black Owned Beauty Supply Association. So let's meet the man in the hour. Okay, Sam, so
Good morning. Good morning.
how are you
good
doing?
morning. Fine.
Good, good, good. Well, let's not waste no time because I'm anxious to get inside your brain. How did you get involved with BOPSA?
Oh, geez. It was like in 2004, which is about 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A group of us came together in Oakland, black-owned beauty supply stores came together in Oakland. So there was a big problem with black beauty supply stores being able to get certain brands of hair and other products because the Korean dominate the hair care market. So we decided to come together as a group. We started right here in San Leandro, California, at Denny's restaurant. That's the first place we met.
Okay.
And from there, it just it blew up, you know.
All right.
And so we're here today because of that, because all of the energy and the excitement about what we're trying to do is change the direction of the black hair care industry and get more black beauty supply stores in the industry and being able to buy products when they needed products.
Good, good, good. Let me ask you about your black box beauty supply concept. Can you tell us where you presently are with that venture?
Yeah, the black box barber caddy. It was an idea that I came up with because I realized that a lot of barbershops, they don't have means to sell products, but they sell Coca-Cola and other vending products, but they never sold black hair products. And most men, they don't buy products for themselves. Usually their wives or sweethearts buy the products for them. So I thought it was a good idea to actually put together a vending machine where men can buy their basic products like club brushes, do-rags, grease, shaving products, blades. And so that's how we came up with that concept.
Okay, okay. Back to the black hair care industries, and folks, you'll see me look down at these notes every now and then because I want to stay on point here to make sure I'm asking the right questions that I've written down. So bear with me. You're on record as saying it is a $9 billion industry that serves African Americans up to as recently as last year. What has been the Korean effect on this industry?
Well, the Koreans, being that they have 9,000 beauty supply stores, brick and mortar stores nationally, they have a big effect on the industry. And the reason that they have the strength is because they're able to buy the hair that they sell in the stores directly from the factories, from the Chinese factories. And so they bring in certain brands of hair, they create the name, the excitement about that particular brand of hair, and then they won't sell that brand of hair to a given black-owned beauty supply store. So that is the reason that they kind of dominate and control the market. But that's all changed now because of the internet.
Okay,
You know.
okay. What did BOPSA do before the involvement of the Chinese hair care industry?
Well, before they got involved with the hair care industry, as a person,
Yeah, what did
as an
BOPSA
individual.
do? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
BOPSA was not around. I was an independent sales rep.
Oh, okay.
I repped other companies like Worlds of Curls, Dark and Lovely. I used to go around and sell products to the various stores and distributors. And I developed my own product line. I had a product called European Silky Wrap. I had a product called Twist Dreads and Locks. And so I started doing that, and I tried to sell it into the Korean beauty supply stores, but they don't want to. They don't want to buy anything from a black person. They want us to be strictly consumers.
Right. Well, how did they and who contacted you about the possibility of working together when you were being contacted by the Chinese Air
Well,
Trade Association?
I have had several companies, Chinese companies, approach me about being a partner, Bob's being a partner of with them and selling in products, hair products directly to the beauty supply stores, because the Chinese are the manufacturer. The Koreans are the ones that actually buy the hair and sell it into their beauty supply stores. So the Chinese factory contacted me via one of their representatives to entertain the idea of becoming the partner and creating an alliance with them and working directly with the Chinese factory.
And I was just going to say, and I know you went over for a 10-day stay to visit the Chinese and see how they were working actually in country, so to speak. What was some of your strongest impressions of the Chinese workforce during your 10-day stay in China?
Well, in the beginning, I was very reluctant to even go to China. I didn't want to go to China. But if we're going to pull this off, then I would have to see what the factories really look like. And so that's why I decided to go. It was a 13-hour flight. They paid our way going forth and back. We flew into Beijing, and then from there we took a bullet train to a small village, and then from there we took another 3-hour ride. And I mean, it was a 3-hour ride, bullet train ride, and from there we took a 3-hour ride, automobile ride to the village where this factory was located. It's 1.8 million people that live in this town, and they have a huge complex that they're building for the factory, as well as apartment units to house the factory workers. 20,000 workers will work in this factory.
Okay.
And they don't get paid much money, but it's amazing to see how they work together, and the way they treated Bobster when we went there was unbelievable. You know,
Okay.
I was very impressed.
Okay. Let me read this quote because I want to get it down, make sure that it's exact. The quote was taken from your press release. I think the release was something like December 6th. Yeah, in it you says, I have been told many times by African American store owners that they buy directly from the factories. After being there myself, I realized the logistics are not possible, which is a hindrance to the success of black beauty supply stores and limits competition in this market. Can you explain what you're actually talking about there, or elaborate on that quote?
Well, as I stated, a lot of black individuals come to me and say, especially if they're selling hair, they say that I get hair directly from China, or I get hair directly from India. There's no way that I can see a black person getting on a plane, flying for 13 hours, and meeting a broker in China, and then have him take him to the plant, because of the fact that the logistics of it is so hard. And keep in mind, China is a communist country. Everything is in Chinese, you know, and and plus you have to, I mean, the customs is so strange. Even going to a public restroom, you have to bring your own toilet paper. So I don't know if the average black person is aware of the kind of problems that you would have, and so, just the language is just.
So more or less, it's just like anything else. You're buying wholesale, and you got to work with some kind of broker who actually knows the details.
You actually have to work with a broker, but even the broker, what are you going to do? You're going to fly to China. The flight's going to cost you about $6,000 round trip. Then you have to hire a broker And the broker you have to have a relationship with because you've already sent him money, and because he's got to take you to the factory, and it's just hard to believe that a black person can go to China directly and deal directly with the factory because the logistics of it. As I mentioned to you, the train ride was 3.5 hours on a bullet train, and then you had to get on in an automobile and drive another 3.5 hours.
Oh, for that matter, any person.
Any person.
Yeah.
And I didn't see very many American there. I didn't see a lot of Africans there. I didn't see any blacks at all. So
Okay.
it has really been kind of difficult.
Well, can you tell us about the new factory they're building that's going to work closely with you and the new organization?
Yeah, this factory is like 250,000 square feet. It's massive, and it's just they have thousands of people working in this factory, 24 hours. And then right next to the factory, of course, is the huge complex of apartments, and the apartments are no bigger than 14 by 14. And I can understand why the Korean beauty supply stores did so well when they infiltrated our black community, because the stores were all the same size, and most of the people that worked the stores were peasants, so they were very accustomed to working in close quarters like that, and eating rice and noodles.
Yeah. Okay, what is EBHA? The acronym stands for Enterprise of Black Hair Alliance. So can you tell us about that collaboration with the Chinese hair manufacturers?
Yeah, when the hair company, FAR is the name of the hair company here in the United States, when they approached me, they wanted me to come up with some kind of logo and theme and mission statement that would identify or explain what we were all about and what we were trying to do. So we came up with the logo, and what I did is get a logo with images sitting around the table, all different colors working together. And then it was an enterprise of alliance together. So I put that in the whole theory in the logo. So that's how we came up with that concept, because we are going to work together. And by the way, we never really had a problem. Bobster never really had a problem with working with Koreans, but they never wanted to work with us. They just want us to be consumers, period.
Right. What is the significance of having an office in Chicago? Because I know you have a satellite office. So to speak.
Because that's where the original company, that's where they started.
Oh, okay.
So they have an office and warehouse in there. In fact, these are Chinese. The Chinese and the Koreans don't get along. So this particular company, FAR, is a Chinese company, which is Chinese manufacturer. And what happened is that there was a hair show in Vegas, the first of this year, and it was put on by Koreans. And this Chinese manufacturer tried to go in as a Korean hair distributor. And the Koreans found out about it, that was participating in the show. And all of them got together and took all their stuff and walked out of the show. So the Koreans, they just don't like the Chinese. The Chinese don't like the Koreans don't like the Chinese, the Japanese don't like any of them. And you know how they feel about us.
Well, how is this joint collaboration going to affect the consumer?
Well, I think it's going to give when you say consumer, it's going to affect the consumer being the salon owners. Right now, the salon owners, when a customer comes in to get their hair done, they want to get a weave or whatever, extensions in their hair. Usually the stylist behind the chair or salon owner tell her, well, you can go down to Mr. B and get your hair, because the customer would go and buy it and then bring it back. Now the salon owner can have the hair there, they have it, and they can sell it directly to the consumer. And not only that, the salon owners get it at a better price, plus they're dealing directly with black folks. Right now, when they buy hair, they're buying it from the Chinese. The Chinese are selling it to the Koreans, Koreans are selling it to us. We're not in that circle at all.
Mm.
So the money is now it's from the Chinese factory to a black person to another black person. So, you know, the dollar is really circulating in the black community,
Right.
which means a lot.
Exactly. And I know you probably covered this in the answer because I think I heard it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How does this affect the entrepreneur who is just getting into the business of black hair products?
It's great for the because right now the hair industry is like the wild west, and what I mean by that is that black consumers are not going to the beauty supply stores to buy hair like they used to, because the internet has changed all that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the hair is bought from individuals and bought online. There's a number that came out, Alibaba, I think is the website. They sell all kind of different things, a lot of hair.
Mm-hmm.
$400 million was sold just online.
Wow.
Of hair. And these are just one-on-one. This is directly to the consumer. This is not selling to a brick and mortar store. $400 million. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hair. That's a person going online and buying maybe $100 worth of hair, $200. That's where those dollars come. Those are individuals. So they're not going to that brick and mortar store anymore. And then so the other thing too is that the same vein, that's just the online. There's a lot of young brothers and sisters running around and have hair in the trunk of their car and selling it to the salons. So what we're gonna, the good thing about us is that we'll be able to sell direct. They'll be able to buy it from us directly as a manufacturer.
Right.
You know.
And it won't be so restrictive as it was dealing with the Korean.
Yeah, and excuse me. And the other thing is that the black consumer and the stylists, especially, they're not buying hair that's packaged hair. Packaged hair means what you see hanging in the store. They're more buying the hair. You can have it in a bag, you know, because when they look at packaged hair now, they equate that into being commercial hair, you know. And when they buy hair now, they buy it as in a package.
Good. Well, and I know there's a lot of marketing that EBHA is going to be doing in collaboration with the Chinese hair manufacturers. How do you plan on changing the habits of the black consumer? And I kind of ask that in a way where we as black people know how we are sometimes. So it takes sometime a marketer that has a handle on the black perspective. So how do you plan on marketing this collaboration and letting the black consumer know and the black entrepreneur know what EBH is going to do for them?
Well, the political climate right now in the United States, around the world really, especially here in the United States, about buy black, shop black. That's a very strong tool to put that in the same vein and selling and buying, you know, hair directly from EBHA because we're a black entity. So I think that with the climate the way it is, it just fall right in with the way the black industry and the black America is feeling right now.
Good. Well, is there any points of contact you want to give out to EBH, A, or Bobson?
Well, yeah. Well, they can find out more information about BOPSA and just visit our website www.bopsa.org. Also, you can the EBHA has its own website now. It's www.bobha.com or ebhahair.com.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it certainly has been good talking to you, Sam. I know and a lot of times when we go through this interview process, it's probably something I done left out. So is there anything that you want to add on to this conversation that I haven't covered?
No, we briefly talked about how we're going to sell the concept about buying black hair. If you look at the black hair care market now, and if you can remember back in the 60s or 80s, the 60s actually, when the afro was in, the natural hair. See, that's all a part of the black consciousness that's a movement in our industry and also in our black community. So what we're doing, we're just falling right in line with that.
Okay, okay. So do you have any more trips planned to China, or are you going to be here for a while?
No, I'm not going to go to China. I'll probably go to Chicago before I go to China.
Yeah.
But we're in the process of working together with the Chinese. It's really kind of difficult because you come from, you're talking about two different cultures clashing, trying to understand each other. See, the problem with the Chinese and the Koreans, they have never worked with black people. We have just been consumers. So they don't walk like we walk. They don't talk like we talk. So it's kind of hard. That's the most difficult problem we're having right now, is understanding each other. And so we've been going around, and we've been together now for 8 months, and it has been a challenge, trying to make that all work. But we're talking, which is good.
Good. I know now a couple of things that I would sort of like to know. The new products that they're putting on the market these days. How involved is the collaboration with you and the Chinese in that respect? I mean, are you producing new products, or are you still buying, or they still buying wholesale, or how's that going?
Well, we're coming out with new brands. When you say products, you're not talking about wet goods. I assume you're talking about hair.
Right.
We have several new brands that EBA is launching, and actually is about 10 different brands. And you can see those brands on the website, But we are going to try and change the look of the packaging, what's out there now, and the whole direction of it. So we're excited about that. But we don't want to, and we have the ability, Bob's has the ability to show them how to make wet goods with the shampoos and relaxers. We don't want to give that technique over to them right now.
Gotcha.
Because that's very important. That's the only thing we have here that we can control.
So that's more of involvement in the future.
Yeah.
Well, so how's business? I mean, ask the common entrepreneur question.
Well, the problem that Bob's is having is, of course, the growing pains and personnel. That's one of the reasons we have collaborated with the EBHA, because we need the capital that they're going to provide to help BOPSA grow. And our main goal is to build BOPSA. We constantly got new members coming in with various problems that we have to work with, but that takes money and also personnel.
Okay, all right. Well, Sam, my friend, we're going to have to do this again. I really appreciate your frank answers. I know you look like you were sweating there a little bit, but I know you're very knowledgeable about the whole game, so I wasn't worried about you.
Oh no, I wasn't sweating. I've done this thing so many times.
Yeah.
Sometimes and you always leave out something, like you say. So. And each time I sit down and do this, there's a different story to tell.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll have to go at it again. If going at it is the word I'm looking for, but not quite.
Yeah.
We'll have to do this again sometime in the spring, just to do a follow-up to see where you are.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, brother man. Thanks a lot.